All right, this is Human Resources Management, and we're comparing the acquiring and compensation process for Toyota and Chrysler. Some of the things we're going to talk about is we're going to first go over the acquiring for Chrysler and Toyota, and then we're going to compare that, and then we're going to go through the compensation for both companies, and we're going to compare those, and then come up with some recommendations for both of them. So the first is acquiring for Toyota, and they're one of the largest international firms for automaking, and part of this is due to their really diverse culture in the workplace, and they strive to hire just the highest rated employees. And the first way they do this is through the stage one of their interview process, and this is an extensive behavioral interview, and the basis behind this is that the way you behave in the past and the way you answer these questions will say how well you behave in the future and how you're going to act in the workplace. And if you're lucky enough to pass through that stage, then you go to stage two, and this is encompassed by a full day of work-based training to see how you would work on the job, and it goes through extensive group-based problem solving and kind of see how you work with groups and how well you can problem solve and all that kind of thing. And through various blogs, we've noticed that the process is quite extensive. It can take over 6 months to actually get the job and go through these stages. As far as recruitment, they do a lot of internships with graduate and undergraduate programs. They go to a lot of university job fairs, and they have professional network of partnerships in the industry that they use to bring in their interns. And they have a pretty extensive program through that. Full-time employment, they both hire graduate and undergraduate. They again go to a lot of college job fairs. They go to on-campus interviewing, and they go through that process all over the country and all over the world. And the next we're going to acquiring for Chrysler is going to be done by Nate Ritter.
Thank you, Ben. So I'm going to be talking about acquiring for Chrysler. Just a quick overview of the company. Resources, technology, and worldwide distribution help to build Chrysler's culture of innovation. Chrysler is continuously finding new ways to attract their best and brightest talent. To start the interview process, first thing you need to do is apply, and the most popular way of applying is online at chryslercareers.com. The initial interview is done through phone, and the interview is just general basic questions. There's also, if they like your initial interview, you get selected to do a face-to-face interview, and that's more behavioral questions, situational questions, things like that. Recruitment. A couple things that Chrysler is doing to help with recruitment is they merge with RightThing, which is a recruitment process outsourcing firm, to create a streamlined end-to-end hiring process that will identify, attract, and hire talent across business units. Another thing they're doing is they merged with Monster for a comprehensive package of online recruiting solutions, and this helps them in a few ways. One is it helps HR manage hiring process, and it also gives the company access to hiring tools to maximize recruiting effectiveness. And next, Nick will be talking about comparing the two companies as far as acquiring.
I'm Nick. I'll be talking about the comparison between Toyota and Chrysler and their acquiring process. First of all, the differences lie in the stage 2 portion of the interview process for the two companies. Toyota's stage 2 portion is the intensive work-based training. That's where people go in, do every day-to-day job in the second portion of their interview. This could take a full day, around 10 hours, and it makes their interviewing process more streamlined, helps them weed through people who wouldn't make it in the actual factory. While Chrysler in their stage 2 goes into their behavioral questions face-to-face, it's harder for them, it takes longer for them to weed through the people. And then their interview consists of a real-life scenario questions instead of the actual training that comes later. So this puts them at a very big disadvantage with finding the right people for the job. Next is the recruitment portion. Toyota puts a high emphasis on recruiting young talent. That means going out to colleges and career fairs. And they focus on diversifying the workplace, which helps them even out every field and get different views on the different processes of what their company has to go through. While Chrysler, on the other hand, is going through a restructuring process of their acquiring, trying to team up with different online applications, and that's what they're focusing on right now, is the online portion, which I feel puts them at a disadvantage by finding the young talent and staying ahead of the game in that aspect. Next will be Steve Medich talking about compensation for Toyota.
Well, Toyota is non-unionized. They actually abide by moral code. So employees are not at a disadvantage of not being in a union. From 2006 to 2008, GM laid off a bunch of employees, and Toyota did not lay any off. And despite not being unionized, Toyota actually pays as much as U.S. companies, but does not have an extensive amount of benefits. There are 3 levels of pay for general staff, which include graduate, undergraduate, and apprentice. And obviously through these, you'll learn that continued education is encouraged and rewarded. For graduates, the program lasts 18 months, and the end result is to become a specialist or engineer. Starting pay is at about $30,000 a year, and every 6 months the pay is increased to an end result of them being hired at about $42,000 per year, and full benefits are included. For undergraduates, the program lasts about 11 months. The end result is to become support staff. This is one of the lower pay grades. A few students of this are actually accepted into the graduate program, and the pay throughout the whole beginning to end of program is about $20,000 a year, and only some benefits are included. For apprentices, the program lasts 3 years, and after the program is completed, they become a maintenance team member. The starting pay is $11,000 a year. Each year the pay is increased. Full benefits are included, and the end pay is about $30,000 a year. As far as benefits go, full benefits include a pension program. After 5 years, it's switched from a defined contribution pension to either a final salary scheme or enhanced defined contribution pension. They're just easier for employees to work with, more beneficial. It does come with life insurance, private health care, our car purchase schemes, which allow great discounts to purchasing vehicles, company sickness, workplace nursery for kids while their parents are working, and relocation is also given to some. Benefits for all Toyota employees include paid overtime, of course, 25 days part-time off, paid time off. This includes Christmas break and a period in August, which are both mandatory to take off. They get free workwear, and there are a bunch of restaurants actually on site that employees can choose from for discounted rates. Next, Steve Cameron will talk to you about compensation in Chrysler.
All right, thank you, Zeke. I'll be covering compensation for Chrysler. One of the first things is just a statement from Chrysler itself. This is from their page on compensation. Chrysler Group LLC is proud of the compensation and benefit programs that they offer to their employees. Their comprehensive package is designed to be competitive in this exciting and challenging industry and to meet the needs of their diverse workforce. So just kind of a statement to start, start their compensation off. Basically, the battle is no longer just between the two companies being Ford and General Motors. Now there's companies like Toyota that they have to compete with. So as of late, they've had to rethink their benefits package. And these are just a kind of like an overview of what their benefits are. They have a competitive base salary, which basically is fair to the industry average. It's competitive with Toyota, General Motors for each position that they offer in the company. They have incentive pay based on positions that you'd have to work on a project. If they do well, they have success, they can get bonuses for that. Full health care benefits, which is really important in today's economy. I know a lot of people, they don't consider benefits to be that important, but you also have to figure that into the salary. And they pretty much cover every area of the health care. Life insurance covering short and long-term disability, which is really important if you're working in a factory and you sustain an injury while at work. They also offer employee savings plans, 401ks, employee managed retirement plans, and advice from Merrill Lynch, which is financial and life insurance advice, which is also an important factor that most employees don't tend to utilize because they don't know about it. Employee car purchase discounts with insurance. You see a lot of commercials on here, like from Dodge or Toyota, just advertising that employees get a discount. Well, the nice part about this is that the employee can give the discount to anybody that's immediate family or a close friend. Continuing education course, which is always big because you want your employees to keep learning and get smarter with today's ever-increasing technology. Well, Chrysler offers these courses as well. They also have online courses for the people who don't have time to take in-home courses. And then other thing, they have on-site fitness, clinics, pharmacies. So if you don't have time, and you want to work out or whatnot, or pick up your prescriptions, they have these in some locations, not in all, but they're in the workplace that you're at. Third-party discounts on Apple and HP. There's also other companies that they go through, but this is kind of a cool feature. You got to purchase a laptop for yourself or one of your kids. And then research groups. Basically, these are kind of like RSOs on campus. So like if there's something that you have a hobby for or something to do with ethnicity or like just a passion about, Chrysler offers the ability to join memberships to these research groups. And then time away based on experience, basically paid time off for maternity, sick time, and so forth. And next will be Dave Matzek covering the compensation comparison.
Thank you, Nate. Just a side-by-side comparison of Toyota and Chrysler compensation areas. To recap, Toyota requires that you enter into a pension scheme, starting off with a defined contribution scheme, and after 5 years of work, you're eligible for a final salary scheme. With that, you get life insurance. Overtime, it's time and 1/3 for the first 2 hours, and then time and a half thereafter. On Sundays, it's double time. Pretty simple. Free workwear, and also restaurants on site for lunch and dinner are some of the benefits of compensation for Toyota. Chrysler, just to recap, choose between all of these benefits and services: competitive salary, flexible health care benefits with drug coverage, medical coverage, dental and vision, company paid insurance, retirement saving options, military encampment pay, paid vacations, discount for family and friends on new vehicles, fitness centers on site that employees can use, Apple, HP, and Dell computer discounts, as well as several other discounts for theater tickets, theme parks, goods and services, sporting tickets, and a lot more. As well, Chrysler has resource clubs such as Asian Network, Gay and Lesbian Alliance, Women's Forum, and Veterans Club, just to name a few. And all together, in conclusion, Chrysler seems to offer a lot more benefits, at least what they've given online for people to look at. Toyota may be more open to disclosing this information, what they, the benefits and such that they have for their employees. But Chrysler has far more options between the two. Next is Dan, talking about referrals.
All right. Okay, so for recommendations, we came up with recommendation for acquiring and compensation for both Chrysler and Toyota. Starting with Chrysler, our recommendation with acquiring was to use some of Toyota's tactics to, as far as attending college job fairs and campus interviews. And from example of this is go to schools that specialize in automotive industry. Like according to a source we found online, U of M, MSU, Purdue, and Cornell are top of the U.S. schools for this. For compensation, a recommendation we had was to compete with foreign companies such as Toyota offer above average industry pay as an incentive to get people to draw them away from Toyota and towards Chrysler. An example was, say, a first year or so of employment provide opportunities for higher pay than what foreign companies would offer. For Toyota, for acquiring, expand recruitment beyond just college job fairs and campus interviewing. We found a lot of information that that's heavily what they're into. So maybe expand, go out. For example, we use Monster.com or HR recruitment companies to get maybe people maybe a little bit older and college kids and a little bit more experienced. For compensation, provide more extensive benefits. Toyota has been found to pay far better, but do not match the benefits of what Chrysler has in overall. Some examples would be higher stock-based compensation, matching 401k, and more attractive retirement benefits than what Chrysler has to offer. And in summary, we covered in our project acquiring for Chrysler and Toyota, compensation for Chrysler and Toyota, the comparison between Chrysler and Toyota, and recommendations for the improvement. And this is our presentation.